game day. Hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. There was no football game played, right? Nothing happened really significant. Florida State loses to the Pittsburgh Panthers 41-17. Florida State goes to 2-5. The Pittsburgh Panthers come off of a 4-game losing streak and come into Tallahassee and Doak Campbell Stadium and absolutely dismantle the Seminoles. This is the first time where I'm just kind of a loss for words, and I just don't really know what to say, guys. I have no clue what to say. Jordan Travis, you don't see him in the second half. He's hurt. I don't know. Just everybody give their first raw reactions, please.
My first raw reaction is I think it's a ripple effect. I really believe a ripple effect, and I think our offensive line is the ripple effect. Travis couldn't get on the edge. He couldn't get calm in the pocket. He couldn't get any time. I mean, he's a phenomenal athlete, and I think our receivers and our backs made a lot of plays for him tonight. But as far as him having time, he had none. And when you get back in the chains, then your defense on the field a lot more than they should be. And, I mean, they can only make so many stops. Not saying that they played phenomenal. They played decent tonight. I mean, they left a couple plays on the football field, I'll say that. But, I mean, you had the guys that we know they're going to play football on defense play football tonight. Let's just say that. The guys that we know that's been consistent all year. But when your offensive line plays like that, you get behind the chains, your defense is left on the field. There's too many snaps for those guys to play. And, I mean, you can't expect to compete in a football game like that.
Well, I mean, first off, for all you Miami fans, you kiss my ass. That's forever and always.
What'd you say?
Well, let me find all those Miami fans that are talking shit on YouTube can kiss my ass. But anyways,
that was random.
Looking at this game, to kind of build on what Carlos said, this team's garbage. And, for me, what continues to stand out is that back-to-back games where they just can't get the ball down the field. They cannot get any consistent play past 10 yards. Louisville, now Pitt, they didn't respect anything with Florida State in the passing game. So they just sold out. And if you don't think that this Pitt team coming into the season is talented up front, and their performance all season has been good all year, they just pinned their ears back and went after Florida State. So, losing Love Taylor was a massive blow for the offense. They were moving the ball well when he was in the game, and then you have Washington go in and just completely hold under pressure. But the defense gave up too many plays. I disagree with Carlos. I think the defense played like crap. I think that they, especially in the back end, continue to get exposed from the slot. A team that has been absolutely horrible running the ball all year long. Found a lot of success, especially late in the second quarter and into the second half running the ball. Just a bad effort overall as a team. So, yeah. I don't have anything really positive to say except for, ready for next week. Big game, Clemson, right?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with what you guys said. I mean, coming into this game, for me, I really thought it was going to be whether the Florida State defense held Pittsburgh, under 30 points, and that obviously didn't happen. We knew that the offense was going to struggle. I mean, Pittsburgh had a top 15 defense coming into this game, and as you noted, Nate, a very good defensive line. Finished with 7 sacks, 14 tackles for loss today, so it wasn't good, especially after Devontae Love Taylor went down, as you noted. And, the Florida State offense couldn't get it done, but the defense was just even more disappointing because we knew that this wasn't a very productive Pittsburgh offense. I think they averaged about 2.9 yards per carry on the season coming into this game. Their longest rush of the season was 22 yards. So it was really embarrassing to see them do Florida State like that. That was the most points that Pittsburgh has scored against an FBS opponent all year, and they hit that mark by the third quarter.
Yeah, we saw obviously Jordan Travis being there for the first part of the game. It's just hard keeping him healthy in games. It's easy to see that. It was kind of a shock to a
Hit
lot
so
of people.
much.
Yeah, it's kind of a shock to everybody to see. Obviously, you have James Blackman come in to start off the second half. I think Twitter was about to start killing one another. And then the second throw that he takes, it is a I mean, I've got to watch what I say online.
I
But
mean,
it was
can I
it
ask a
was an
question?
interception.
Can I
I get
ask a
suspended from
question?
Twitter again, man.
I'll
Can I
be
ask a
suspended
question?
again from Twitter. I will be
Did you
suspended. I almost
guys
did. I almost did get
did you
suspended
guys see
today
the back camera view when they did the instant replay?
from the
Like,
interception.
did you watch his helmet? He stared at it.
He stared the whole
Yeah, he
the whole
stared
way.
down the whole time.
I mean, you're a senior, like you're super senior, like you're an old guy. You've been here 3 coaches in. You don't stare down routes. I don't care how many of the reps you're not getting. I mean, I get it. I totally get it. I mean, you're cold. You come. I mean, but I would come in with a little bit like, okay, let me try to make something. Let me bring some juice. My guy's hurt. You know what? Let me do something. You came in and the first pass you threw was batted down. The second pass you threw was a pick and it turned into points. You wasted 2 reps you could have gave to Purdy.
And I don't want to say he was necessarily cold because, I mean, going into halftime, they had to have known that Travis was injured and probably wouldn't come back out. So he was probably preparing for that moment the whole time. And
You're 100% right.
it
You're
did,
100%
it did
right.
not go. It did not go as planned at all.
Anyone who has 32 games under their belt should be able to come off the bench and not be blown away by the moment. And the fact that he pre-snap was looking at Terry, took the snap, was looking at Terry. I mean, a Pop Warner kid knew where that ball was going and could make a play on that. But, you know, the instant reaction, looking at the statistics, looking at, 3 interceptions again, so 3 turnovers. Still 75 plays on the FSU side versus 63 to Pitt. They didn't do a ton on offense, 5.7 yards per play, but the 3 turnovers is the nail in the coffin for Florida State. 14-3, and I think all of us can sit here and agree that 14-3 felt pretty dominant. It wasn't a close 14-3 to start. And then, you lose Taylor, and then you lose all your momentum after the fumble that wasn't a fumble. And then, they go down, they score. And then if I have my sequence correctly, Travis throws a pick, and then it's on. You just feel the energy sap out of the team. Again, we talk about adversity, talk about everything. They just can't withstand anything that can't battle back. They're an elite front running team. It's hard to watch.
And at times you can't even say that we're a front running team, Nate, because I mean,
Yeah.
we almost gave up a lead to the number 5 team in the country, and we had them pent. Like, we had them pent.
31-7.
Yeah, they were pent. So, I mean, it seems to be when we do have the upper hand and we are playing well and we putting points up early, we have a lead, that we seem to be a front-running team. But, I mean, we talked about when we played North Carolina, I felt like we've learned how to have adversity, but we learned how to close. We've lost that in every sense of it, everywhere. We had no fight back. I 100% agree.
Yeah. I mean, I know Dustin threw out the stat on Twitter, but up 31-7 against Carolina, been outscored 110-33 in the last 6 quarters since then. So, I mean, I don't understand how they just can't score in the second half. I mean, it just tells me that despite adjustments, whatever they try to adjust to, they just don't have the horses to get it done.
And the stat is Florida State hasn't scored in the second half since the 12:25 mark of the third quarter against Notre Dame, which is 117 minutes and 25 seconds of game time without any points in the second half, except that safety that Emmett Rice got against Louisville.
Clap
horrible.
for that.
Horrible, man.
It's pitiful.
What do you do? What is the solution? Where do we go? Like, what's the solution here, guys? Where do you think the coaching staff needs to go to even be able to motivate these guys to play? Do you think these guys are still motivated to play?
No, they tapped out when they went down.
That Trevor Purdy pick six told me everything. I mean, I mean, it wasn't close in, but I mean, it just kind of tells me the offense.
There was no effort
to make a tackle. He ran right through the middle.
I mean, I thought the play was blown dead. That's how bad it was. I thought the play was blown dead, but sure enough, that was a live play going in for a pick six. I was like, is anyone on this team going to try and maybe tackle him? Maybe, stop him?
So
instead, you're back to where you were when this team just gives up fully. Let's just say it straight up. It's going back to that. We've made it. We're back to the Willie Taggart area. Norvell, this is another pitiful game for Norvell, and we're not talking about enough, but you're not scoring points in the second half. We've been very positive on Norvell, and we've seen things that have been going on that we like. We like the discipline here and there, but holy shit, there hasn't been any points scored. It's about time where at least some of us on here have got to be like calling him accountable, because you're back to Norvell. The team is falling apart. It's a complete shit show in Tallahassee.
Yeah. Here's what, Carlos. So we talked about this recently about the lack of carries. Corbin 6 carries, Webb 7, Toafili 1. I think they went away from the run too quickly. I don't understand how Webb only has 7 carries. Corbin, who looked pretty good today, 6 carries. 13 carries for your running backs today.
I think that because we've had so much success with the RPO game and with Travis's legs, you want to try to push that, and I think that kind of became our identity. Like, we ran the ball well the next couple games after North Carolina. We were able to give our backs, and we defined Webb. We talked about it on here. Webb should be the guy. Webb became the guy. Why he's not getting the respectable carries, I don't know. I love spreading the wealth, but why are we not running the ball downhill? If we can't protect the quarterback, why can't we just move forward? Like,
right.
We don't want to drop back and pass him. We can't get him out on the edge. Why not just run the football? Let's just make an identity. We stop trying to – we obviously don't have one, and this is not it. Let's just change the philosophy a little bit. Let's try to run the football a little bit more and see how that works. I mean, we have the backs that want the ball. They're young. They have time to develop in this offense. So, it's now to us. I'm just saying something has to click.
It's quite clear now that this team can't get the ball downfield through the air. And I think they've given up. I think against Carolina, they went away from the run too early too. So, my question of Norvell would be, why are we going away from that? And with Travis hurt, that takes away the dynamic. I think he had a concussion off that hit, that tackle from behind late in the second quarter.
Yeah.
But I'm not considering question Norvell. I don't think the coaches are beyond questioning, but I do question the lack of running. 13 carries when they were moving the ball 3-4 yards per play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It's disappointing. Those numbers are really disappointing. I mean, okay, people say the season's washed, blah blah blah. What about for recruiting now? Like, how do you sell that? Like, how do you sell 13 carries in conference play for all your backs? Period. Not just one back, but for all your running backs. 13 touches. How do you explain that going into recruiting? I mean, that's just another. This is another just a little drop in the water for a ripple effect there.
Yeah, I was talking to one of my friends here that was watching the game with me, and I told him, we have heard of things, in the group chat and the commitment group chat. And Nate has been very in the connect. He's one of the most connected guys with recruiting. And just from my personal opinion, if it were me right now, I want, and Carlos, I want to get your take too. I would want nothing to do with Tallahassee right now. I would want nothing to do with it.
If I'm a recruit, there's two different. Why would I? I'm a 5-star recruit. If I'm a 5-star recruit, I have two options. I can come to Tallahassee, dominate at what Tallahassee would be considered what a Connecticut what a Connecticut, a USF would be playing at the level at, SMU. I mean, Byron Jones with the Connecticut was a first-round pick. I mean, he was a monster. So, I mean, it's possible.
So like the only player that's on the team right now is Asante Samuel Jr. That's it.
Bam. If you're just being honest.
He's going to the league. He's going
Marvin
to
Wilson was a 5-star.
He's limping. I swear. Don't
get that started over here. We're not going off target here, but keep going, Lewis. Keep going.
But if I was a kid that had a late offer from Florida State, I would definitely consider coming to Florida State because now I'm hungry. Like those kids are the guys I want. You know, I mean, it's two different roads you can take. You can take advantage of being a 5-star recruit, coming here, dominate the guys, making the older guys that's been here not producing, outwork them, take their spot, and put yourself in position and carry a program into the future if you're willing to help build. I mean, Lars Woodley, when we got him out of California, that's what we expected out of him. He was a transition player for change. He was supposed to help recruit and build and develop and help us move forward. We didn't have that out of him. He's now a role player. I don't hear him much. I don't see much of him. I don't hear much of his name being called. So, I mean, it's a lot of different ways you can take. I mean, for me personally, I came to Florida State at a perfect time. We were transitioning right after Bobby had left, and my brother was here, so I had a connection here. And then Jimbo had kept the commitment to my offer, and Coach Stoops was a great defensive back coach. So I just took advantage of the system, and I was around some of the best talent in the country at the time. The two starting corners was Greg Reed and Xavier Rose. Xavier Rose ended up being a first-round pick. I mean, I had first-round D linemen in front of me. I mean, I played with some of the best linebackers now that played in the league. I mean, so I just took advantage of the system. So if guys want to come to Florida State and they feel like they can fit in, come and fit in and take advantage of the system. Take advantage of having poor players that don't want to perform around you. Take advantage of guys going, possibly not win another football game this season, and you can come in and play right now and put yourself on the map. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on what you want. Or you go to Alabama, and you go play a year and a half, redshirt or freshman year, and just play 2 years and leave and possibly get drafted in the first or get drafted at all. Or it just depends on what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I would take advantage of the system. I want to be that guy, quote unquote. I mean, there are a lot of guys doing right now at Florida State. They're quote unquote that guy, but they're not producing as that guy. And it's a list of them. I mean, the TV talked about them tonight. A list of guys that have the potential to be 13, has a potential to be a first-day pick and a second-day pick, but he hasn't produced it all season. 11 hasn't done it all season. 21 hasn't done it all season. But the capabilities are there. I feel like they take advantage of the system. You go into a program that's well-known. They've been at the top, and yet your position, they've had guys been drafted highly year after year. So the pedigree of producing is already there. So why not go join that? It's easy to get in there. I have a year and a half, maybe a season, and I'm drafted, second-day pick. Boom, I'm in there. You get them? So, just take advantage of the system. It just depends on what you want to do.
To kind of follow up on that, when you talk to some of these kids, first Florida State fans need to understand and realize that right now Florida State's not going to land 5-star top flight kids because they want to win. At the same time, not every 5-star kid wants to put in the work to get FSU back. That's a mentality. Not every kid, not every recruit has that. I mean, you look at what Florida State has in this class right now, it's more of a mentality of understanding what's going on with the team in Tallahassee, and they see opportunity. They still see that the logo holds weight, the brand holds weight. They see opportunity. They trust in Norvell. But at the same time, it has to be concerning to see what's transpired on the field. But these kids they talk to current players. They're not stupid. Carlos can attest to this. Once you form a relationship, they stay in touch. The guys who are dialed in, they know what's going on. We've talked about it for 2 weeks. This is a team that's not on the same page, and we continue to see that result on the field. In terms of recruiting, it's just you're gonna have to find the guys who gonna have to probably evaluate a little bit harder. You're gonna have to find those lower 4-star, 3-star guys, and develop, and that's fine. I'm in the boat where you get the guys who want to put in the work and have and show potential, and then do your best to shoot your shot at the high level kids. But it's a work in progress, and anyone needs to understand that it's not a Florida State's not plug and play like they were in 12, 13, 14. It's just not there right now. You can't expect them to come in with everything that's been going on and expect to just start landing big time kids.
I wonder why James Blackman got put in there before Purdy.
Norvell said in this press conference, he thought that his experience would give them a spark.
What kind of spark happened?
I mean, when I saw
that's
the
just
move,
kind of things I'm questioning right now. I'm not saying I'm not giving too much. We'll talk about it on our full episode, but that was one of the last 2 weeks have been deeply disappointing in the Norvell side of things. So
when I saw the James Blackman move, I thought it was probably just because of how talented and experienced that Pitt front seven was, and
me too.
He didn't want to put Purdy out there and instantly get him killed. But I mean, it only took 3 plays for it.
He was back up
to be Purdy's shot anyway. And
he didn't have a choice.
That was exactly what happened.
He didn't have a choice when the Boobers came out. He didn't have a choice. If let's be real, if Blackman would have had a 3 and out, he probably would have went back in. But
the pick sealed it.
Pick's done. Yeah.
I mean, that's like an interception.
That's the way to kill a man's confidence, though, man. You let the go. Come on now. And he talked to him, and then Norvell has this way of talking to the players where it's not like, hey, man, I'm not angry you threw a pick, but you threw a pick, man, and you look real bad right now. So no, I'm not gonna yell at you. I'm letting you know how bad that read was, and just make sure you go sit down.
Yeah,
they never look upset. The guys never look upset when he talks to them. They never look like disappointed. It's like, dang, I know I'm not getting back in the game. And they just walk away.
How many more wins this season? We'll end this off. How many more wins for the season, please? Someone give me
1.
A game against Duke. Like there will be a good game against Duke.
I think it's going to be Florida State. Florida State's going to beat Duke 10-9.
I mean, I need to stop. I need more shots. I have Jamison in there. Look at this, Los. Look at this. As someone being in that 2013 locker room, can you just tell me straight up, like, what does this do to you? Like, I know you talk with some of the boys that you played with, but what does this like for you as a player? Because we never played. But you being there, you won a national championship. You set the mark of what this team is supposed to be, what this program is supposed to be. You tell me right now what this feels like for you, what you set up this team, and now it's literally falling apart into where Florida State University is most certainly a basketball school right now. I am looking forward to basketball. I never used to be that way. Nate is going to come out tomorrow and say he's looking forward to basketball, and he has no interest in basketball. He is looking forward to basketball. He's looking forward to it. Florida State University is a basketball university right now. It is a soccer university. You tell me right now, Carlos, how does that feel? How does that feel to you right now?
Honestly, it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch. It really, really, really is. But I always talk about I always make sure I talk about the guys that you see consistently want to play. And they always got to leave you with some hope. Amari's not a senior. He's not gone. I mean, I'm sorry Asante's gone. Like, I wish he had another year. I mean, the guys you expect it to be, and I talk about 11 to 13 to 21 because we always have a dominant front seven. No matter what shape or form our front seven is formed in, our D-line, our outside backers, they always bring heat. We have a great front seven. They're not living up to that expectation. But you see the corner play. You see our young guys coming in. 73% of our roster is freshmen and sophomores. But they're playing their asses off. So, yeah, it sucks to watch year after year. Watching Taggart was hard Because week after week, you see them bump into some new music you bump into, but you see them putting nothing in the end zone. You see them giving up points after points after points. They're not putting wins in the column. And Norvell is his first season. Yes, it's tough. We're going through a pandemic. We understand. It's been a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
It's just it's hard to watch. But I have a lot of optimism because our young guys are willing to go out there and battle. Yeah. And that's the honesty. I mean, our young guys are willing to go out there and put stuff on the line, and that puts stuff on film, and that's something to build off of going into next year.
Well, I think that's pretty much going to do it. We don't want to spend another 30, 45 minutes because we most certainly could, but I feel like I'm like one more beer away from getting canceled and being suspended again on Twitter like I was last night. So I don't want to do that again. I'd rather stay.
Got close today. I
did get close today. I did tweet, I want to kill you, Georgia Bulldogs, but I deleted that immediately because I knew I was about to be suspended again. But it just Florida manhandles. I mean, just spanks Georgia and Jacksonville, and then this happens in Tallahassee.
Did you really think Georgia was going to beat Florida?
I thought it'd be a better game than that.
Can I tell you a secret, though? Know what I always think about during this time period? The teams that have, like, all this COVID stuff, they got to sit back and wait to play. Remember what Dan Mullen said? Every time I want to play tic-tac-toe, I want to beat your ass. I want to beat your ass. Them boys had to sit at the crib. I guarantee when they went up there to Jacksonville, wherever they played this year, I didn't get a chance to watch it. Wherever they played, that cocktail party, man, Florida was out there on a mission. I don't care how Georgia started. They wanted to beat their ass. And Dan Mullen instilled that in them guys. No, I can't. I hate Florida. I hate the Gators. But I am a fan of Dan Mullen's philosophy about how he wants his players to approach the game of football. That I'm a fan of. If we can find a way to get that instilled into our locker room and our roster, there's no reason why we can't compete in the ACC.
Well, we'll talk about it on Thursday night. We'll talk about it Thursday night at 9 p.m. We'll go live then. This has been our instant reaction to Florida State's, I can't even say dismantling loss. That's what I used last week. Just sucking.
Second straight loss to a team on a 4-game losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
We lost to Pitt, man. Pitt.
What was the score in 2013?
The Steelers.
Last time I know, Pitt was like Dan Marino.
Yeah.
I'm 27, so like, what year was Dan Marino?
You're getting old. You're getting old.
1982.
Hey, Logan, line that shit up, dog. Let's get into it.
Yeah, no, like Dustin said, they did not face the Pittsburgh Steelers this time. This was the Pittsburgh Panthers. They didn't have no James Conner, no Aaron Donald. Just some good old average offensive play and some good defense. Just couldn't handle it. But that is our instant reaction from Hear the Spirit. Thank you guys so much for listening. You can listen to all of our podcasts on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. If you're on iTunes, feel free to rate 5 stars. We definitely thank you for hanging out with us this evening. Enjoy y'all's weekend. Enjoy NFL tomorrow. I know I will. Go Steelers. Hope you guys have a good rest of y'all's weekend, and we will talk to you guys in just a couple of days. See you guys.